Hi, welcome to Non-Perishable Goods Podcast. Woo woo!
Yo, yo, what we talking about? We're going to talk about the Bud Light controversy. This Bud Light boycott because of Dylan, I'm a girl, Millennium, whatever his last name is, um, with the new advertisement they have with him, and he's America is running wild. I
Really?
guess
See,
it's left versus right, and alphabet versus non-alphabet, and American traditional ways and American pie.
I don't know much about whatever's going on, but I did see a video today where a man was in Walmart and he just threw hella beer, Bud Light on the ground. Or it wasn't even Bud Light because he got the wrong brand, but I guess it was another Anheuser-Busch brand or whatever. But he was like in Walmart throwing it off of the shelves, opening the boxes, throwing it everywhere, and just making like a real big fuss, like in an aisle. And he was like, I'm protesting for transgender or whatever. But it's like, bro, that's not
You mean
protesting.
not for transgender?
Yeah, or whatever. But it's like, that's not protesting. You're vandalizing the store. So he got arrested.
Yeah, as you should. And then there's a video I saw where somebody showed. I don't know if it was in like a grocery. It was in a grocery store, and they were like showing all this Bud Light, and then next to it like was nothing. Like all the other beers were like gone. It was just Bud Light by itself. That was kind of funny.
Oh,
And then
well.
there's Kid Rock, you know, pulling out the I think the submachine gun and shooting up a bunch of Bud Light cans and stuff.
Right. So what happened? Like what started this? Bud Light had a commercial or an advertisement or what?
Well, what started is with Dylan himself, who's like
Who's Dylan? Who's Dylan?
Dylan Mulvaney is this guy who's now transitioning into a woman, and he's in I think he's in L.A. and he's trying to get into business, and he's just garnering all this attention from him being on all the socials, journaling, socially journaling his transitioning, and it started out with this makeup, giving him campaigns, and then he had his own like variety show, I think like a few months ago or a few weeks ago, and he's just gaining all this attention, and
Hmm.
now uh it's I guess Bud Light's turn, and they give him his own can, and just America, traditional America is not feeling it. So, and they feel like people who are against this feel like, because because of all the the sports things and stuff, and uh you know trans women playing in sports and stuff, and now they're taking over makeup, and now they're getting sponsorship from like but uh things that were kind of like manly or whatever, kind of like masculine, and then like Bud Light's trying to just capitalize on this trans wave, just like Disney and Marvel and all these shows trying to be quote unquote woke and stuff. Like now they're trying to get woke and get just cash in on it too. Bud, Coors, all the companies.
Hmm.
I mean, not all of them, but just using
Right.
trans, even like Calvin Klein just being more accepted with like using overweight women in their ads and stuff like that. So it's just this whole like woke wave of big companies, and people just don't are not feeling it. It's
Right.
like
But
this, the trans thing is like, like trans women are not women, right? And they're talking about getting periods and stuff like that. Like Dylan Mulvaney is also sponsored by some like Tampax or something. Like it's just insane. You know what I mean? It's like they rather, it's kind of like they're saying that you rather give like Lee Thompson or whatever her name is, like, advertisement, but you won't give like a real woman who's been in sports and working and then
But
training in
they
sports this whole
have,
time.
but they have though. Like that's crazy to me because I mean Tampax, tampons. I mean you don't even really see commercials for those anyways, but I don't maybe you do. I don't really know.
I mean, I don't, because it
But
wouldn't be geared towards me, but like, I guess for it's kind of like, why would you, but period, no pun intended. Like, why would you give a trans woman sponsorship if you're a tampon? That makes no sense. Like, you're just pushing the agenda and you're also capitalizing on something that's not biologically like real. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean,
it's
but
it's
it's
like
just a
false
company
advertisement.
though. But it's not false advertisement to a person who's
A trans woman,
transgender.
it is
Yeah,
false advertisement because you don't need it.
but
So it
if
is.
you have to think about a corporation, they're trying to be inclusive. They want people to to it's just I guess a catchy way to get
So it's like,
people to look at their brand.
sure,
Another demographic.
but it's like,
I mean, it's getting
you
people
rather,
talking. It's getting
true,
people talking.
true, true.
I mean, you have to
I
look
give
at
them
it from
that,
a corporation. Like, I don't know why people are making it a social thing. This is just
because you're giving somebody who doesn't use it money instead of giving somebody who really would use it, like a natural biological woman. And you could pick anybody. You could pick any influencer or whatever, but you
right. And
picked a trans
they
woman.
have though, but they have though.
Yeah. So
And
like, why would so
but for
why?
whatever reason, they're targeting, you know how like the algorithm, gives us ads based on our interests. Well, there's clearly in this Generation Z or whatever, millennial or millennials, whatever's
Mhm.
coming after us, there's transgenders, there's trans, this is a thing for that generation. So they're targeting that demographic, that
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I see it like this.
so
This
like I
this
mean,
is for this is for all the feminists who support people or trans women, right? This is them. If you're against it and you're feminist, biting you in ass back, because these companies are thinking that Dylan has a big fan base of women, feminist women who probably would allow their kid to go see some drag shit, right? Those kind of people, right? So they're saying, okay, if Dylan has, because now his subs are like in the hundreds, probably millions now, uh, and most of them are probably women. As tan packs, as a woman, obviously predominant product, let's give Dylan some money so he can advertise this. But it's
yeah.
backfiring because biological women, and maybe might be the women on the left, or maybe like women like that, like they're like saying, why are you using this trans woman to advertise a biological woman product? So it's kind of like 50, to me when I think about it now. It's like 50-50 because you got supportive women over here who are like, oh, Dylan doing this, do your thing, we support you, blah blah. Then you have the women over here who are like, oh, why is this trans woman advertising women products to us? Like, it makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Because when he did makeup,
But it doesn't make
when
sense
he
to
when he had the makeup campaign, a lot of women were, well, limit on the who were against this, were really really upset because they're like, why are you uh campaigning or sponsoring a trans woman when you're advertising towards more biological women, which is kind of weird because makeup is makeup. I know a lot of gay men who use makeup, but anyway, sorry.
right. Yeah. I mean, it's just because there's a demographic that supports transgender and companies are just showing that they're inclusive. So, I mean, people are getting upset about it, but like it's a free country, right? Freedom. Like
Yeah,
let people do what they want to do.
yeah, and
Like
boycott
it
with your
doesn't affect
dollars.
them. Huh?
Yeah, it does. And Bud, what Bud and Anheuser Busch were saying, this some people were saying this isn't going to hurt them in the long run, but if people are boycotting your beer, uh, I think it will, and that's what I agree. Like they're a company, they'll probably be okay, but as Americans in with freedom, if you don't agree, just don't buy their shit anymore.
Right.
You talk with your money and tweet
Yeah.
if you want.
Right. Right.
But yeah, talk with your money. Don't buy it. Don't
But
you
it's not
as they have the freedom to advertise or sponsor whoever they want. You have the freedom to spend your money to wherever you want, and you
right.
also have the freedom to talk shit about it if you want, and that's your opinion. We all are have assholes, are like assholes. We all have opinions, so it's like go ahead, talk your shit, and then boycott if you want. Do what you
Right.
want.
Because, like, I mean, the people that are like making a fuss and that are online and saying whatever, nobody, it's a small percentage. And
I
they
don't think it's a small percentage.
and companies, they'll take that risk. They have analysts that calculate these risks, and
Mhm.
they know that the younger generation is more open-minded than these folks that are upset about it.
I do agree with
And
that. Yeah,
so, like we're gonna
but
be
but your
dead. We're
demo,
gonna be
but
dead. We're gonna be dead in 40 years, and the generations coming after us, they're inclusive. They don't trip off of the things that like people trip off of, like
sure,
the
yeah,
the gender stuff. Like people, the younger generation, that they're most of them are taught to just love and like mind your business.
sure. I don't think it's most, but yeah, I think it's a good percentage. Yeah, because I think I mean, we still have bullies and stuff, so I don't think it's most. Excuse me.
But I mean, that's just you're like it just depends on what echo chamber you're in, really. So, I mean, to you, it may not seem like most, but this is a big world. And that's what people need to understand. Like, everybody wants freedom for what they want. So, but there's other people who want other things. And if we're in America and America's about First Amendment rights, about freedom, then everybody should get their freedom to do what they want. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
and like, yes, you guys can have your opinions, and people could be all hateful and like be mad about it because it's not good for the kids. Well, there's a lot of stuff not good for the kids, and adults are doing these things. So just people need to just mind their business. And then my other side of it too, though, is like we should also maybe keep some things to ourselves. And like that's just kind of where I'm at with social causes, or especially social causes that have to do with sexuality. Like, mind your business and keep it to yourself. Like, that's really the only way that we could really move forward. Because I really, I'm strong, strong. I strongly feel like sexuality should not be at the forefront of anything, you
yeah.
know?
I agree,
Like,
and I also feel that just because you are gay or bi, whatever your sexuality is, doesn't mean other people have to accept it. Like there's some people who just don't agree with it. There's some, especially like a lot of religious people, all kinds of religions, like they do not accept homosexuality, and that's just has you just have to accept that. If you're going to cross dress or whatever, you have to understand that people aren't going to be comfortable with that, with you as a man
yeah,
or a woman in the bathroom. Like you just have to accept that
right.
part too.
Yeah,
We
I don't like that at all.
just
The
like you
gender,
want us to accept that, you have to accept the fact that what you're doing is just right now, abnormal. And with the pronouns and stuff, you have to give us time who don't really don't understand it, because grammatically it makes no sense, but you're in your feelings, so you have to just give us time to, like, I guess, adhere if we want to, because again, we have the choice to not adhere to your pronouns because some of us
right?
don't
But you
understand it.
shouldn't. But people shouldn't hit people in the head,
Absolutely not.
and
Yeah.
shouldn't kill people, and shouldn't cause riots or inciting
Yes.
violence on a marginalized group. You
Exactly.
know,
And
but
trans
they do. But that's the thing with
right.
all this
And
rhetoric. But with all
yes,
this rhetoric, it's causing that,
on
and that's
both
the
sides,
problem.
there on trans people too. Like if somebody calls you a woman and you're not a woman, you're a man, don't yell, don't get upset at them and throw fisticuffs and try to knock their cameras down and act all belligerent. Like, yeah, on both
But
sides,
but
absolutely.
you hear most, you don't see or hear about that
No, you
often.
do. There's
But
videos.
you hear most about gay people getting beat up or for
I
being
don't. I
different.
hear the other side. I hear them getting
On,
angry
Bishop.
and yelling.
Like
No,
be
I could send
realistic
you.
here.
I could. I'll
Growing
send
up,
you videos.
growing up, growing up, you never heard about people getting bullied because they were different or because they were gay
Absolutely,
or if
I've
they were
been
a
bullied.
mama's boy or
Yes.
whatever. You don't usually hear about people wait, what did you say? A transgender beat up a person for what? For them calling them a her and she was a
You never.
he?
You didn't see the video of a woman. She was there was a protest against this guy. I don't know if it was Jordan Peterson, but it was like some guy who was just like talking about men's rights, and then all these women came to like stop it, and the women who were there who were advocating for the men, um like she was just trying to get her hat, and then the ladies were like taking her hat and throwing it and stuff. And then there's another video of they're in this what do you call it, like the town hall.
Mhm.
And the recent one with the Riley Riley Gaines. She's speaking against trans people playing, trans women playing with biological women in sports, and she got kidnapped and punched in the face just because of her views on that part. And all these women and whatever alphabet crew, they kidnapped her for a little bit and told her they weren't going to let her out the building and ask for like a ransom.
Right. And also, I just need to point out, like, I know there's freedom of speech or whatever, but like, and a lot of people don't say certain words because they don't want to get censored. But like, it's derogatory to say the alphabet crew. And I know
Who says that?
a lot of people on the right, like a
No,
lot,
who
or
says that's derogatory?
it
To
is
who?
derogatory to people who are gay or what is it? Lesbian, bisexual, gay,
The
LG, whatever.
LGBT.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But to be like, oh, alphabet crew, like
Well, I don't.
that's
Uh,
derogatory. And
okay,
and
I
people are
don't.
gonna take that as like an offense and will probably, like that's like calling somebody the N-word.
No, it's not. I don't. I think that's a horrible comparison that you just made.
But I mean, it is derogatory to people who are.
Who told you that? You heard that personally, or you heard that
I
on
mean,
YouTube? I've
that's
never
just how
heard.
I feel. Like whenever
Oh,
I hear people,
I never
because
heard gay people say anything like that.
I hear a lot of people say on different podcasts, and it's usually people on the right who are very rude, and they always just say, "Oh, the alphabet crew,"
So
or
maybe that's it. Maybe that's it because the people who don't advocate for them, they're saying alphabet crews. So
yeah,
for
that's
you
the
when
only
you're,
people
yeah,
that say it. That's the only
okay, I
people that say
don't,
it.
until somebody says it's derogatory. I mean, I haven't heard anybody say it's derogatory.
But I'm just telling you, I don't think it would be received well. You know what I'm saying? Like in a environment of
I don't think they care. I don't think any of them care. They know what they're talking about.
right, but it's not like a happy thing.
Is it derogatory when
It won't
is
make a gay person feel good if somebody's
is it
like, "Oh,
derogatory
alphabet
if they
crew."
if it's is it derogatory if they go LGBTQRSTUV
I
WXYZ?
mean, it is a lot, and a lot of people
I
don't
think
want to.
that's worse than Alphabet Crew. Alphabet Crew is being safe because we can't. They keep adding letters in there, so it's like, well, I'll
Right,
just
but
say
it's
Alphabet
like
Crew.
what's the word? I guess it's like condescending. You know what I mean? Or I don't know if that's really the word, but I'm just telling you.
I hear you.
I'm
No,
just
I
letting
hear
you
you.
guys know, like it's not. It doesn't make people feel good.
But
So
if a
that's
gay
probably
person said
why
that, would
they
it be
wanted to.
okay?
What was that?
If a gay person said Alphabet Crew, would it be better if it
But
just
I
one
don't think
gay
I've
person?
heard.
I know I
I don't
haven't either, but I'm just saying
I don't think. But
if a gay dude said Alphabet Crew too, because he was like, because I've heard gay people
well,
say
I guess
I've
it'll take the power away from it if somebody that's gay says it. Like
so they
maybe.
have the power to change words, then words that we want to use.
But I'm just telling you my point. I'm not. I don't. I mean, I don't. I don't know what to say, but I'm just letting you know that it's offensive.
Okay. And
It's
I don't
offensive,
agree with that. I don't agree with that.
right? But I'm telling you, like,
Okay.
it's
Do
offensive.
you,
And
so you
so,
speak for all the gay people?
oh,
Are you in
I don't
charge of all
see,
the words towards gay
no,
people? Okay, then. So I disagree. I hear you, but I
right?
disagree.
Okay, that's fine.
I
But
know gay people who've said, "Oh, I'm tired of the LGBT." They keep putting words in it, and I was like, "That's funny because it's coming from a gay person." I thought so. So it's okay for him to say it, but if
I
I
don't
say
know.
the same
Like I
thing, then
said,
I'll
I've
get
just never
ridiculed.
heard gay people refer to gay people as alphabet group.
Right,
I
and I
haven't.
haven't either. I haven't either. But it doesn't
Right.
mean that
That's
it's
all I'm
not okay
saying. So
or
we're
okay.
agreeing. So we're agreeing
But you
on that.
know we're not because you're saying it's derogatory, and I'm saying it's not because I haven't heard
It's
that.
okay, okay, maybe not derogatory, but it is condescending.
I heard
And
you,
that's
and I don't agree with
and
that.
that's why they okay, that's fine. But that's why they probably are offended or at
Who?
people.
But who's it? How do you know they're offended? Who has said that? You're making statements that are not true. You have
But
no
you're making statements
evidence.
you don't know anything about
I
either.
didn't say it
So,
was derogatory though. You're saying that might be derogatory. That could be because it's condescending
but
to
don't you think it's
you.
but it doesn't it seem disrespectful?
No,
If that's not what they're called, then why would you call people something they're not
because they
called?
keep I told you because they keep adding words. So to be safe, some of us use alphabet crew or mob because we don't know all the letters. They keep adding letters, taking away letters, adding more, add three
Right.
more, take away
But
five.
right,
So to
but
be
it's
safe and to be encompass everybody, most of us will say alphabet crew, and you know what we're talking about.
right. But it doesn't make that it's a positive thing.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
you're going off of feelings because of maybe the way the candor, the way they say it, or the act, whatever the inflection they put on it. Okay, that might be true, but it doesn't mean that. But it doesn't mean that they're being derogatory or condescending or sarcastic or
But they're
rude or
not taking
whatever.
the time to know all the letters.
I just
And
told you why. I just told you why.
I know, but if
I even
people
remember
could Google, people could AI open AI.com and they can
they go
listen,
to chat.
what's the latest include,
Yeah,
to
no,
be
ain't
inclusive,
nobody
to
got time
be
for that.
right. So that's the thing. People don't
Yeah,
want to take
so
time
to
to
encompass,
understand it.
some people don't want to use pronouns. Are they assholes? Are they assholes
I
because I don't
mean,
want to
to
call this
somebody,
person a dragon?
but to somebody who wants to be addressed in that manner,
Mm-hmm.
then it would be derogatory. If you don't,
To
if
that
you
person.
right,
Yeah.
right, to that
Okay.
community.
But
So
so
it would
but
be. It would be derogatory, it would be condescending, it would be disrespectful.
right.
Mhm.
But it's also our choice as people with freedom to call them whatever I can call somebody a bitch if I want to.
Right.
But they said no, but that's not my
And there's
pronoun.
consequences.
My
Right,
pronoun is
but
Puff Daddy.
right, but there's consequences for your free speech.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't have to adhere to your pronouns and but you can give us your pronouns. We don't have to. I'll call, if your name is Joe and you want to be called Jamie, maybe I don't feel like calling you Jamie because you still look like a Joe to me,
But
right?
that's not your place to determine that.
Also, with the they them, that makes no sense to somebody, so they don't have to use it. You can tell somebody that
But if
my
somebody,
pronouns
but
annoy them.
if you meet somebody at a coffee shop
Mm-hmm.
and they're very into pronouns, they're very into
Mm-hmm.
that life, that whatever, and they're like, you're like, hey, hey girl, I don't know, hey, or whatever. And they're like, oh no, I'm a they or I'm them.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. The conversation's over. That's how much I respect you. I won't talk to you because I think that's ridiculous. So I'm
But that's
sorry.
not respecting them. Like
I'm respecting you
that's
to the point
being
where
rude.
for me to not be
Like you just
rude.
close the door. You just close the door on knowing a person because they want to be called
I think that's
what they
I
want to
think
be
that's
called.
I think that's a mental illness. I think it's ridiculous. There's no possible way in the grammar of how we use these words for you to be a they. You are one person. That makes no sense.
But they're saying they're non-binary. They're
Yeah,
non. They
that's
don't have
another
a
one that's
gender.
crazy.
But that's how it
It's
is.
it's
That's
it's
like that's
it's
new. It's
amazing
a
how
new it's a new way of
it's
some
amazing
people
how
feel.
it's
There's
amazing how
people who
you
really
guys
feel that way.
it's amazing how you guys accept all this and it changes everything just because people don't want to be canceled because the LGBT community will go after you. How about that part? That part to where they'll harass you, they'll hit you on all the socials, they'll find your address, they'll find your number. If you don't agree with their agenda, they will
Well,
come after you.
that's just how it is in America
So
with
you're just
any group,
accepting that.
with any community. Any community gets in their little group think or
Yes. So
mob or
they're like a
whatever,
so they're like a
and
terrorist.
attack you for
Yeah, just like
believing this.
so
So
they are
it's
just
more
like
about a
Aryans. They're just like the Aryans, just like the QAnon or whatever. Anybody in the organization that you don't agree with, they will harass you, cause violence to you if you don't agree with their policies
right, and
and
that's a problem. Like
yes.
it
Well,
sounds
I'm
like
glad we agree with that.
it's a human problem. It's in communities need to address their anger and their hate and like relax. But I also know that there's people who are out here who are just wicked and evil and who thrive off of hating others. So that's the bigger picture that needs to be addressed, I think. But
I agree. Yeah, it's horrible out here.
so um like people, like I said, need to mind their business. And like that's just so crazy. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, I'm them," you and say she was beautiful or whatever, you would just be like, "Okay, bye."
What's that got to do with her being beautiful? What's that got to do with her like
But I'm just saying, like,
the nonsense?
if you were to meet somebody that you took a liking to or you enjoyed the chemistry, but then she was like, "Oh no, call me they," then you would be like, "Oh, bitch, I'm out."
I would probably be dig in her psyche and ask her like why she thinks like that.
Yeah,
Because
and
all I've gone
that would be a good place to start because you might make a good friend. Like
because all I
seriously.
can go off is the research I've done and for now what I've found is just it's tribalism and it's mental illness. It is either both or one or the other. Because grammatically and definition wise, that makes no sense, right? You are one person. You cannot be a they. They is us, me and you, more than one, right? Them is like a group, not one person. That makes no sense, right?
But it's coming from the place of them not conforming
No,
to a gender.
it's coming from a
So they're
place
just
to
saying,
where
call
how
me
you feel.
they. No, they don't want to be, they're
Yeah,
non-binary.
it's a feeling, right? It's not a
But you
fact.
don't know that. Do you know any
No,
non-binary people?
Stacy, I do. You are one person. You cannot be a they a, or them. You are one person. That is a fact. Now, as a feeling, you feel like non-binary. You might not you, but you might feel like a man or a woman. It is a feeling. It is not a fact. Biologically, I am a man. If I feel like a woman and I get tits and whatever, I am still biologically a man. That is a fact. But I feel like a woman. And that is how I want to be perceived as. But it's not a fact because biologically, I am a man. And I will always be a man. I cannot have kids. I
So
cannot
what
have
about the
a
people
period.
who, but what about the people who are born with both
Okay, now you're
genitalia?
doing outlier shit, and we're not doing outlier stuff. That's hermaphrodites, right?
But you don't have a answer for that. Like
I
how
do have an
like
answer for that. They are how they feel, right?
so then the people who how they feel, like then it should be, I don't know. Then
Yes,
it should be,
they have both what do you call it? What's the word?
Well, what if somebody
They
has
have
more
both.
testosterone or more estrogen, but they look like, say they look like a woman, but she in her body, her
Mm-hmm.
chemistry makeup
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of testosterone. And
Yes.
that's possible. People could have like high count of testosterone or high
Mm-hmm.
counts of estrogen. So maybe it isn't mental. Maybe they actually feel because their chemistry makeup is that, or they have more of that, but
You're
they look
still,
like a woman, but they might have
yeah.
hella
You're a woman.
testosterone.
You are a
But they might,
woman.
so it's just off of image. But
I
see,
know
that's
some. I know. No, it's off of your biology. It's not off of image. It's
but I'm
not. If you,
saying
what
if
you're
the
saying is
people
off of
feel,
image.
but if people feel
Mhm.
like they are a woman or a
Yes.
man,
Yes.
that needs to be looked at. Like, why do they
Yeah.
feel that?
That's why they're called
It could be
lesbians
their
and gay
hormones. No,
and effeminate.
no.
Yes. Yes. So a woman who has a lot of testosterone, but she still has a vagina.
Testosterone.
She still has a vagina. She should be perceived as a man. She just because she dresses like a man. She cuts her hair short. She ties a thing around her thing. She doesn't. Maybe she'll get her breast cut off, whatever, or
Well, because
tie the
she
band around
feels,
it
because
because
maybe
she
they
feels
feel,
like a man.
yes, because her
Yeah.
hormones, like this is just
Right.
came to my mind because
Mm-hmm.
her hormones and the chemistry, like in her body,
Mm-hmm.
is causing her to feel that way.
Yes. Yes.
Because I mean, hormones are real.
Yes.
Chemistry is real. It doesn't
Right.
make you mentally ill.
No.
It's something that you could possibly feel. That's all I'm
Yes.
saying.
But
Maybe that's
biologically, how does she? How? What is she? Scientifically,
well,
biologically,
biologically, if we're
what is
speaking about
she?
biology, I think
Yes.
biology has to do with your anatomy. So
Yes.
therefore, then based on your anatomy, if you have a
Mm-hmm.
vagina, then you are a
Yes.
woman.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
That's it. I mean,
That's it.
but that's just how people declare. And I mean, I don't know. Like, this is really kind of making me think differently because,
Not me. I'm pretty clear.
right, but I mean, how are we, I don't know. Like,
We're going
is
over.
our
We're going.
body parts, like a lot of people want to break things down to like, oh, my spirit, or I'm not a I'm a spirit, I'm a body. Like a lot of people have different beliefs, and just because the norm or the traditions have declared us as this or that based on anatomy, well,
Mhm.
maybe we should be changing that, and we should declare who we are based off of our makeup of what's in our
Right.
body. Like if our
What do you mean?
hormones, if we have hella testosterone,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe that should be looked at more. Like if our I don't know, mate, I don't know how it's all connected, but if our hormones affect our brain to make us feel like we're a man or a woman,
Mm.
then maybe we should be looked at that way and not looked at how our body is born, like our anatomy. Maybe we shouldn't be declared. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not
No.
saying this is what it should be, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
like in history and like I'm just talking this through,
Mm.
but like we are declared like race. If you think about race, which is a social construct, race isn't even real. Black and white, it's something that was given. It's not like, like we are actually DNA made up of like Nigerian, like and Ghanaian and Jewish and Chinese and Taiwan, like Taiwanese or whatever. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Like
Thank you for. Thank you.
I just put it all in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like it could be a social construct that
I agree.
we look at humans or we look at the body
Yeah.
and base people off of who they are based on their anatomy. But maybe we
Yes.
should look at the spirit. Maybe we should look at the chemistry, hormonal makeup.
No.
Because there's too many people. But I mean, I think, like you said, yes, there are some instances where people are probably like influenced or it's trendy or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But I don't know. Maybe it's not a mental illness. Maybe it's a real like their hormones are strong. Like I haven't looked into it enough. And I'm sure since this is like starting to happen more so like you're hearing more about this and like people are fighting for this demographic, then scientists need to look into it. And like a lot of things, they'll say, oh, well, like if you look at certain food supplements, oh, the medical world will say, oh, we don't know if spirulina or if marijuana is helpful with this or that because there's not enough research on it. Well, then
Yeah.
maybe they should start doing more research on these different aspects of why people are feeling like they're a man or a woman and they look like something else.
I'm pretty
Like
sure they are.
that's what they need to do. Like that's what they got to do at this point.
You gotta think there's gender and there's sex. Sex is what you scientifically, biologically are. Gender,
Attracted to.
what?
Yeah, like your sexuality is what you're attracted to.
Well, I mean sex as far as like
Your
pussy and
gender is
butt.
what you are,
Yes,
female or male,
well, the
supposedly.
gender is how you feel, right? That's the social construct, I guess. Like, but sex you is definite. I am a man, you are a woman. There's no denying that. There's no, it doesn't matter how much chemical or estrogen or testosterone that you have, it doesn't matter. Like biologically, you have a pussy, I have a dick, right? That's just biologically what we are. Now, if you felt or I felt like a woman, which is like I felt more feminine, and then in turn maybe I am gay, or maybe I'm just a feminine, but I still like women. I'm still hetero. Like it's just how I feel, right? And
But to me, that still
there's
sounds like a hormonal thing,
so it's
like a
gay
chemistry,
and
like the
or
chemistry of
bi
your.
or hetero.
I just think they need to do more research. Like, and then we can go from there. And but in the meantime, because maybe 20 years from now or 30 years from now, they'll have an answer for what we're talking about. But I don't think people should be tripping. Like, this is just crazy to me. It's like, why are we talking about this when there's so many other problems going on in the world that affect all of us?
Because
Like,
maybe
what
that's why. Because there's so many other real problems that this is like a smokescreen.
easier? It's like easier to tackle. Maybe
Easier,
I
it's
don't
easier
know.
to boycott Bud Light than to
Yeah.
worry about
Cause yeah,
brick and
like to
uh
me,
the Oklahoma shit and things
yeah,
blowing
or
up,
gun
plants blowing up
violence.
and
Like
shit,
it's a
gun violence.
distraction.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is all this stuff that
And they're
the
helping though. Both sides are helping it though. Like the protests and everything. Is you guys are helping this distraction along.
yeah, I don't know. Well,
Instead of us all trying to get along and understand each other because of well, I don't want to say capitalism, but because of monetary reasons and things that we don't understand because we're not uh you know being fed the truth. We're going over like minuscule things on Twitter and socials and stuff, and
and TikTok
worry about
and
your dating life on TikTok and stuff.
yeah, and it's so much lies and misinformation and like and all of it really just matters where and how you get your information. Like you're either missing pieces to the puzzle or you're not getting the whole story. And it's just, I don't know how that's
It's
supposed to
hard
like
to
converge. I don't know how it's gonna
it's
converge
hard to
ever.
find like a news source that is like that can be
That's factual.
non-biased.
Yeah, that's factual and that encapsulate like I will tell you that. Like I've searched and I've looked and
I think
um
Blazing Point. I think it's called Blazing Points. I think that's pretty central. But yeah, everything else, like if you're left or right, I
you
suggest
have
just
your world for that. Yeah.
listening to both sides because both sides can give you good information, but at the same time be cognizant this that they also can be like overly left and overly right. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Yeah,
to
the
where like
extremes
it
are a
turns
problem.
to where it turns extreme to where it turns to
Hate.
racial prejudice and bias.
Right, right. No, I agree. I hear you. I hear you.
I just think just on on a human level, some of us don't agree with your lifestyle. Don't push it down their throats. Like they don't want to hear it, but they're also not in your way. So it's like, but they also don't want to play your game. So it's like, or play or adhere to your lifestyle, and they don't have to. Just
right.
we have to
But that's
accept each other.
right. And if that's the thing, like if America is about freedom for all or freedom, 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 I hear
Mm,
both sides talking about
yeah,
freedom, then it has to be just that. It
yeah.
has to be a free society. Yes, other countries aren't as free as America. Like, they in the Arab countries in Africa, in China, like all those pretty much every other country is not um like they don't do a lot of the things that we do here in
No,
America.
no, they don't.
Like
But they also have a lot of regulations and restrictions, though. Maybe
right, where you could get
people in
killed.
pants and shit,
Yeah, like
camps. Yeah, die.
exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
he
Women have
died
to
in
cover
our hole. I don't
themselves.
know how it happened.
Yeah, like women in the Arab countries, they gotta cover every part of their body. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
they're protesting that hijab shit now because of
Right.
what's her
Like
name. But yeah,
women aren't able to drive.
I'm proud of them over there. Goddamn it, it's
Like
amazing.
I think in Saudi Arabia they did finally let women drive, but like we're super free in America and
Super free, super
we need
free.
to hey, we need to make a remix. But we need to allow everyone to have their freedom. But I feel like I said before, and I'm not going to change this. I think sexuality should be on the back burner. Like
Mm,
like people should mind their business
talk about
of
it. Talk about
how
it.
other people want to live, whoever they're sleeping with or whatever, mind your business. But then people also need to keep certain things to themselves. Like, yes, I know you want to express yourself and whatever, but I just think when it's comes to sexuality, we gotta keep it to ourselves
Mm,
and mind our business. That's it. Period. Like,
period.
because if we want to be in America, the free is free for everyone. Like free for people to live how they want to live, as long as it doesn't hurt others.
Yep.
But these guns and all that, that's not freedom. We'll get into that another
Well,
time.
that's another. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a.
we'll get that into another show. But anyways, you guys, this was hot and heavy, and whew, we're gonna figure it out. But that's why people need to just chill out. Like it's too much sometimes. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. My brain is like,
It's a lot.
all right, nice talking with you, Bishop, and everyone else. That was heavy.
That was heavy.